What are you doing? You writing scripts? You like making bullet points? You using AI? You ever try to write a script with AI? I would rather work in a factory for 12 hours inspecting little medical tubes for every last miniature centimeter like I did in Laguna Hills. Which that job was like torture. The only reason why it was good is because I was in Southern California and I needed to make money to live there. And I had to work overtime every other week. That was one of the worst jobs I've ever had because you cannot come back from break 2 minutes late. They're counting on you. Those medical tubes are piling up, buddy, and you cannot get backed up. You have to be a medical device. You've got to be a mechanical, robotic individual for 8 hours a day. Yeah, you can talk to the other people, but dude, it's a robotic job. Doing the same thing over and over again. Shit drove me crazy. So I would rather do that than let AI write me a script and read it to the camera. Looking at 2 lines, look at the camera, read the 2 lines. Looking at the next one, then say it to the camera. And then you watch the video back and you're like, damn, I sound like a robot. I sound like, what the fuck is that? I see videos sometimes, I'm like, these people are reading a script and this shit is making me nauseous. You know, I used to take life so serious, but now I'm a DoorDash driver, content creator, hip hop lyricist, breakdance choreographer. I mean, how can you even, like, what is so serious about that? Like, I was like, why am I taking life so serious? I'm like such a generalist in life. I got my hands in so many different things. I have interests in so many different areas. I'm counterculture. There's nothing about me that's serious. Why was I trying to take life so serious? I say to myself, dude, I'm the furthest thing from serious. You know, I'm a philosopher at the same time. I'm philosophizing on these videos. Like, who do I actually think I am? I got some nerve, don't I? Getting on this microphone trying to talk like I'm some Aristotle or Plato or something. I have never done anything in life. I'm just a regular ass dude, okay? I have a regular ass job. I had a question that I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask the question of the 0 people that watch my videos. And so I'm going to ask myself the question because I am my biggest fan right now. And my question is this. Is talking head videos and content creation a form of therapy? Because lately I've been firing up this camera and talking into the camera and the microphone. Microphone is right here if you don't know. But I've been just talking into this microphone and about anything randomly. I don't have a topic. I just turn on the camera and kind of figure it out as I go. I don't have anything to talk about. I mean, a lot of times it's an accumulation of things that I've been thinking about during the day. And when I'm tired at night, all I really want to do is scroll on social media. So instead of scrolling on social media, I say, you know what? I'm going to turn on the camera and just yap max. I'm going to practice yap maxing on the camera. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. There is no point. A lot of it doesn't have anything to it, really. I try to have a nugget of value to offer. Because I feel like if anybody does watch my videos, and all it is a bunch of gossip and nonsense, and I don't offer any type of value or wisdom of my own from my current perspective, then I just wasted your time. I'm sorry. So I have to kind of sneak in a little bit. And I know that most people go on YouTube not to educate themselves. They go on YouTube to be entertained. That's just the way society is right now. I'm not a normal person. No. Actually, I don't have any politically correct bones in my body. Everything about me actually is off the wall and a little bit ludicrous. I don't want to be normal in this world. I look around at every normal person, or who society says is normal, and they look miserable all day. You know? And certain areas are different, but when I go to an area and I see everybody with a frown on their face, just so serious about life, I say, no. I don't want to end up like that. Oh, I definitely don't want that rubbing off on me. No, I want to like actually take off my shirt and then yell at the top of my lungs in the middle of the parking lot. Yell something. Anything. It doesn't even have to be a specific thing. You can just yell. Doesn't even have to be a word. That's what I feel like doing. I don't want to play by the rules of this world. These rules suck. You guys like playing by these rules? You like paying taxes and you like obeying by... Let's not get the video banned. You know what I mean, bro. I think you know what I mean. You want to play by those rules? Nah. I'd rather stick to my originality. You know, sometimes I think that I'm joking around too much. But I'm like, where's the punchline to this joke? Or is it just a run-on sentence? Is it just a run-on joke with no punchline? Or am I literally trying to just speak my way into verbal freedom, if you will? These are the questions that I ponder on while I'm doing this type of blog or vlog or whatever you want to call it. But like I said, it is therapy for me. From my current perspective right now, I see it as therapeutic. And everybody needs a little bit of therapy. So why not? Why not itch your beard on camera? Why not? And I think sometimes you got to be a little absurd, because in a world full of sane people, or either way you want to look at it, are they sane or are they insane? I always been a little antisocial growing up, but I broke out of that antisocialness when I got into sales. And then I became super extroverted, almost obsessively, where I would talk to everybody out in public. I would spark up conversations everywhere I went because I felt like it was giving me momentum. So that when I was talking to somebody for a sale, it was just natural for me to be jovial and super extroverted and just conversational. That was my style, was conversational style, right? But when the pandemic happened, they were pushing this antisocial narrative, right? Social distancing, 6 feet away, all this garbage. And it was getting on my nerves, like, that they were doing that, because it was against everything that I was pushing for. And the irony is, a little by little, I started to become a little more antisocial, and it was because of the way people were acting. So I saw people being, quote unquote, pandemic Nazis. You know, when I would walk in a store around that time and, you know, I'd have the mask around my neck. I don't even know. It was like you couldn't enter a store without having that. So, you know, I'm a testy son of a bitch. So I'm going to take the mask down. People were like, you have to pull that up. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, come on, like, do you know what you're doing? I would try to, like, if I had the energy, I would give them a little resistance. Like, do you understand? Like, these masks actually don't really work. And it's like, do you know what's going on? Like, I would start asking them questions. If it was a customer, I would say, are you worried about me wearing a mask? What about the cookies and the ice cream that you got in your, that's going to lower your immune system. Like, you don't want to lower your immune system with that. That has red 40 in it. I would start lecturing them on their food items. But if I was not in the mood and I was tired, I would just pull the mask up. Whatever, I'm tired today. I don't feel like getting into it. But a lot of times I wish I would have pulled out my camera and recorded some of this stuff. Because usually all it took was a little bit of resistance and they would stop. They would stop with the harassment. You know, they're just doing a program response of what they need to do when they see somebody with the mask down. Anyway, I digress. This whole antisocial thing, it was bothering me. But what ended up happening is I started getting tired of it. And I just started avoiding people altogether. Like, okay, this person is acting like a certain way that is bothering me. I don't want to even get into it. Like, I can't do it anymore. It's just, I had fatigue from the whole thing. So I never fully recovered from that. I was just thinking about this earlier. I'm like, why do I get into this antisocial attitude sometimes? And I thought back to what caused it and where I was before that happened. Maybe turning on the camera and talking to the camera is my way of coming back out of the antisocial habit that I have developed.